What is up, everybody? This is Anthony with VR365. What is going on, folks? It is Saturday. It is March 16th, and this is not VR365 Live. No, this is basically a little impromptu thing that me and Mamefan are going to do. Basically, what we're going to do tonight, guys, is we're going to be talking about Shadow Legend VR. A spoiler cast, if you will. I finished Shadow Legend VR today. Mamefan has finished Shadow Legend VR a long time ago. Mamefan, what's up? How's it going, by the way? Hello?
Hey, I'm here. I was messing with audio. Yeah, everything's good.
Okay,
Just
so
trying to get everything working right.
yeah, so here's the story, guys. We actually tried to get video working, and Mamefan has a good video footage, like he's got a good camera shot, and couldn't get it working. So we'll worry about it next time. We're just not going to worry about it. We tried to get it working right before the show, but technical difficulties aside. But basically what we're going to do today, guys, we're going to talk about Shadow Legend VR. We both finished this game. We both played it from beginning to end. And I thought it would be kind of cool just to do a spoiler cast and get into it like that. And so I think the so first of all, if you have not played Shadow Legend VR, straight up warning, because we're going to be going through the entire game. Like, we're going to be talking about anything we want to talk about. Spoilers galore. This is a spoiler cast. This is the way it works. So if you haven't played the game, you know, you're taking a risk by watching this, because we're pretty much going to spoil the whole thing. And I thought the best way that we could do this is we could go level by level, like all the major sections of Shadow Legend VR. We'll just kind of go over each one and kind of give our thoughts on it. And this is like the very first level right here. We're watching a video. This guy is doing a crazy ass speed run. Okay, I got a video of a dude that beat Shadow Legend in like an hour and 20 minutes. And he's basically just running from here, running to there, doing this, doing that, talking to this person, talking to that person. And he's going through it real quick. And this is where that video comes from. But this is kind of like the first indoor area that you get into Shadow Legend. And so you're seeing the indoor setting. You see the non-player character over there. You realize that their chests, there's treasure chests to be opened. There's gold everywhere. There's like a book with dialogue. So Mamefan, when you first played this, had you already heard me like kind of raving about this game a little bit? I mean, maybe you had almost like too high of hopes. What do you think?
Yeah, I'd heard you raving about it, and I didn't watch any of your Let's Plays, though, because I didn't want any of it spoiled. I mean, I'd seen some of this stuff, you know, in some trailers. But I wasn't disappointed once I first got in there.
What about like this very first opening little section here where you're inside this room and you're exploring the room? Did you look at like the beautiful sunlight coming through the windows, but did you examine it further? Because I did.
I don't really remember noticing the sunlight, but I remember messing with this what do you call this thing? That pit, where you melt, where you heat up the steel or whatever.
Yeah, the molten whatever. I don't know what you call it, but the molten lava pit.
I was messing with that and messing with the tongs, and I left the tongs in there for a little while, and then I didn't realize it, but they ended up getting really hot from sitting in there, and then I picked it up, and then I heard my flesh burning, and my character was like, ah! I was like, oh shit. And stuff like that was really cool, and just all the interaction in the whole room.
Yeah, I mean, when I was in this first little area here, I spent a long time in here. I mean, this guy is zooming through it, let me tell you. This is like a 5-minute video, so like he spent like 5 minutes in this little section right here, and I was probably in there for like a half an hour because I was going over to, because you would find little gold coins that were under certain books, and so I had to take every single book out. Like I
did the same thing.
Do you get OCD about like collectathons?
In a game like this, I do. Most games, I don't, but I don't know what it is about this game. I just there's so much stuff to find, and I didn't know yet how important the treasure and the runes were until later. I tried to find everything I could in every stage.
So actually, you know, one of the most important things that we learned in this very first opening sequence here is you have the voice control option. Did you use the voice control option, and how did that work for you?
Yeah, I used it from the beginning, and it was working really well for me. As he spoke, the letters or the words that it was recognizing were turning green, like as I said them. Just like I think in the video maybe some of that's happening, but you know our timing is off right now. But so yeah, they turned green, and like it was working really well for me. But the problem was it was so much text to read that I got tired of reading it out loud. So I just started clicking the text instead.
Yeah. One time I played it and it didn't automatically go into that, and so I was just clicking text as well. But it does pick it up pretty good. Like it seems to, all it needs to recognize is like the first 4 or 5 words, and it kind of knows where you're going. But but yeah, this opening, what'd you think of the non-player character right there? I mean, from a VR game, we've seen different NPCs. Can you think of a particular VR game that maybe has like the most realistic NPC you ever seen, or what do you think?
Skyrim with mods, they're pretty good. Most realistic. No, I can't think of.
What did you think of these guys though? Like mediocre.
Yeah, mediocre.
Not bad.
I mean, they're okay. Not bad. Yeah. I wasn't expecting a lot from an indie developer.
Yeah. Okay. So, like, when I was in this opening indoor level, because the entire game was so new to me, like, I hadn't really figured out everything about it. Like, I'm not sure. I think I may have climbed up into the rafters. Did you climb up into the rafters that first time and grab? Because there's like there's a chalice everywhere, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, I climbed into the rafters and on the chandelier and all over the place, everywhere I could. Yep.
Alrighty, well, let's go ahead and move on to scene number 2.
Oh,
yeah.
One more thing. So there's that sharpening wheel and stuff like that. And one thing I don't really like is that there's really no point to that. It's just there kind of for looks. And, you know, I wish some of this stuff and, you know, like actually the forge area, I wish that actually mattered because it's really just there for kind of shits and giggles.
Yeah, it's accoutrements, but you know what?
Yeah.
I appreciate the accoutrements because this game has... Okay, so now we're looking at the outdoor snow. You know, you're basically in this outdoor level, and this is really crazy because on this video that I grabbed, this guy runs through this area in like 3 minutes. Like, seriously. Wow. Like, he spends 3 minutes out here in the snow. I spent a long time out there. I spent like 40 minutes out there probably. You know, I went over and talked to the guy with the eagle and fed the horses, played with the dogs. You know, what about this area?
Yeah, I spent at least that much time out there too. Yeah, that guy that's doing the speed run, he's not going to be able to get the weapons if he's just because he's not getting enough runes. Because you have to have a certain number of runes to get weapons, like, you know, the powered up weapons. But yeah, I was going everywhere trying to find everything I could, hitting, you know, all the runes that were up high with bow and arrow, and feeding all these horses, even though that doesn't do anything. Like, I wish that there was a reason for that. You know, like maybe I could ride them, and if, you know, if I feed them, then they like me more and go faster or something like that.
Yeah, and this guy, it's funny, this guy went to the door and tried to exit, and it wouldn't let him exit, and then he realized, oh yeah, I got to go grab the bow, and then he ran and grabbed the bow, and then bam, he exited. So, yeah, he spent the least amount of time possible. The absolute worst way you could ever want to play this game is to try to run through it. You're wasting everything that this game brings to the table. It's designed for people, actually it's probably really designed for people like you and me, where we like to explore worlds. We have that retro history of wanting to collect everything. And you might be similar to me too, Mamefan, where maybe back in your old retro games, did you like to kill every single enemy on the level and find every little coin on the level? Because I sure as hell did.
Not... I heard what you were saying about Astrobot, where you said you haven't beaten it yet because you were trying to get every coin. I'm definitely not that way in a game like Astrobot, but in a game like this where getting that stuff actually you can buy something with it, then I will be that way. But like Astrobot, it's just like you're getting coins for, I don't know, no reason as far as I can remember.
You
It's
know,
just like, you know.
yeah, no, I know what you're saying there, and there's so many too, and it's so painstaking to try to grab all of them. But it's just my old video game self. It's like I would, when I'm going through like a Mario type world, I want to kill every little enemy that's in that world. Like I want to clear it. You know, it's calling clearing the level, right? I want to get every little enemy and every little prize and find every little secret. But that's just like this OCD thing that I've always had. But a game like this is built for people like that, you know, because we can explore every little square inch. Did you end up climbing up really high up the sides of, you know, they had like a ladder, but then there was also further you could go. They had these like blocks that you could grab.
Yeah, I went up there. There was only one ruin I didn't find in this area, and I still don't know where it was. I don't know.
Ooh, I've got you, Mamefan, because I think I found about every rune there is. I'm pretty sure almost.
What was the hardest one to find? Do you remember?
I mean, there's one that's way up on the ceiling that you got to knock over and slide down. But I don't know. I don't remember. Like, I don't remember all the specifics of it. But I definitely did like this little outdoor area. I thought this was beautiful. Oh, a question for people in chat is Mamefans' volume level, is it okay? I'm guessing it is because no one said anything so far. So your volume level is probably good. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the next section. So this next section here is... let's see. So that's the first outdoor area. Man, did I skip one of the areas here? I might have accidentally skipped one of the areas. But we'll just go to this next one here. Yeah, so you go into another indoor area and you meet like this wizard guy and you talk to another guy. And it's very similar to that first indoor level. And you can explore it. There's a room that you can get into that you're not supposed to get into. I guess I don't have that footage. I skipped that one. This is right after that. Now, this section right here is pretty much the first time that you see an actual bad guy that comes at you. Maybe the weakest aspect of this game is the actual combat. What do you think?
Well, first I wanted to say about the last room that you don't have the footage of. That was the first place where you could actually start buying stuff, or like, you know, giving them items, so like the chalices and
selling stuff.
And I saw a crossbow there, but I didn't realize until I read somebody talking about it, you could actually buy that crossbow. I heard. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, when I got to that crossbow area and you're talking to that guy, I had crazy money, you know, because I found every freaking gold coin and chalice there was around, and I could sell it, and I found more gold coins. Like, in that room, you're opening up drawers, you know, you're finding like these little salt shaker things, and then you climb up in the rafters, you get into that other room where you get that other salt shaker. It looks like a salt shaker, I don't know what the hell it is, but you're putting it on like a balancing thing, and then you get the key, and then that opens up a chest and blah 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 blah. And but yeah, it's too bad I don't have the footage of that little indoor area, but it's very similar to the first indoor area. Again, nothing spectacular, but like people that were watching, like some of them are just running through those areas in a couple of minutes, where I think we might have maybe savored it a little bit more. Now this section right here, it's kind of wham bam thank you ma'am. You get through this pretty quickly, and the problem I had with the combat is basically, you know, they do their swing, you go ahead and wait for it, you block it, you counter, you hit them back. Now, every once in a while, if you got real quick about it, you could get a couple quick hits before they went back into their whole wind-up thing, you know. But you got to time their block. And then even if they hit you, there's so many of the potions that you can drink that if you keep your, you know, if you keep track of where your health is, you're pretty good. But yeah, this was kind of like the first little combat area. We did see the burning, you know, the graphics are pretty good in this game. Like, what do you think about the graphics so far in these levels, what you've seen? Were you pretty impressed up to this point?
Oh yeah, I was definitely impressed. Definitely.
Yeah, I think they did a pretty good job. I mean, dude, you know what I found out today? And I didn't know this. VitruviusVR is basically two people. How freaking crazy is that?
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's this guy. People. Yeah, it's a guy named Blake and a guy named Colton. It's basically Blake and Colton, and they worked on this game for 2.5 years, ever since Mervils, you know, was basically done.
I've talked to at least one of them on the Discord.
Okay, so now on the screen, and it might take a second for you to start seeing this here, but this is one of my favorite little levels of this game, and it's another it's an outdoor level, and you've kind of got this water that's going through, and it's like a graveyard type place and all of that. And man, you know what was really fun for me? And it's crazy how fast this guy goes through this level. He like runs up to these guys with the little bombs, right? He runs up to them, basically lets them hit him, and then he just scrapes their bombs and then runs away, and then the bombs explode, and then the guys die. And it's a very effective way to do this, but I didn't play it that way. I was straight bow and arrow for like 25 shots.
Yeah, it took forever to kill him.
But this game has a lot of, like, the crazy thing is when you start to get a little bit further through this game, and you see all the little mechanics they have, like the upgrading system. Because what you're doing is, when you're going through this game and you're killing all these creatures, every time you kill one of the main creatures of the game, there's a heart. And you get the heart, and you get the gems, and you get all the other goodies that come along with that heart. And then what you do is you're allowed to spend these hearts on upgrades. And so you can upgrade... like your health level. You can upgrade how much damage your bow and arrow shots do. You can upgrade how much damage your sword slashes do. And that whole mechanic is actually done very well, don't you think? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I thought it was really cool. I was mostly upgrading my health and my long-range weapons. Like you said, I wasn't crazy about the melee combat, the sword combat. So I was, doing most of the bow and arrow type stuff.
Yeah, and you know what's a true shame? This guy that just is racing through this level is one of the funnest parts of this level for me was getting up on the rooftops. I don't know, but it's weird. I'm up on the rooftops, and there's something about being up on a roof and you're looking down on the ground, and it seems like a realistic distance, and everything is like, the scale seems good about everything. I kind of felt like I was up on those roofs, and it was just fun to be up on a roof. Yeah,
were you,
These souls have been saved, Grandmaster. Go forward with their strength.
Well, I mean, not like hardcore, but a little bit where, like, I've noticed myself in certain VR games, every once in a while, like, I'll almost, like, instinctively, like, brace myself a little bit, or, like, lower my center of gravity a little bit, you know, when I'm up on
many souls have been saved, Grandmaster. Your mortal world is strengthening.
One thing I did think about, though, is I thought about Assassin's Creed. Because think about Assassin's Creed VR, because you're up on the rooftop so much. I think that would be a great game in VR after playing this.
And this crypt level was probably my favorite level.
Yeah, you know, my favorite level might be coming up. I call it the Emerald Forest. But yeah, no, I did like this level, and there's lots of gold to be found. And then also there's this one section of this level where you go down and you meet basically Santa Claus.
Oh, yeah.
What'd you think about Santa?
Yeah, that room was the room was really cool because there's lots of hidden stuff to find in that room too.
Yeah, I don't know if I cut a little video just for Santa Claus's room. Let me see. No, I don't think so. Yeah.
I Am Roots played this, and yeah, he was getting pissed off at Santa Claus. Thought Santa Claus was a dick.
Okay. So anyway, we can go ahead and go to our next stage here. Let me throw on the next stage.
Oh, and I like the riddles on this stage. There are 3 riddles.
Yeah, the little doors that you would have to open.
Yeah.
And I mean, you had to get the paddle and all of that, and you had to paddle down. Like for a while, I was stuck on the paddle thing because I wasn't paying attention, I guess.
Yeah, it was a little confusing at first.
Okay, so you felt like the crypt level was your favorite level. Now the level that we're in right now,
Yeah.
This is my favorite level, and I call it the Emerald Forest. It's kind of, you're outdoors, but you're almost indoors and outdoors. You're kind of like indoors with no ceiling, and then like giant freaking trees that are growing inside like the skeleton of another castle or something, and there's moving platforms everywhere.
Yeah.
And this is Sonic the Hedgehog, man. I mean, but it's very platformer-esque, you know, when you start riding all the little platforms.
Oh, yeah. I liked all that platforming. And, you know, the zip lines. Those were cool, too.
Yeah, you know, actually, there's a number of levels. Okay, so this level does have the zip lines, which was cool because you would go down the zip line and you'd actually have to time it. And you'd actually have to grab, like, you'd have both of your hands, right? And you would take your left hand and move it to where your right hand was, so you're almost hanging off the edge of the zip line. Did you do that and then drop onto the platform that's moving?
Yeah, I did that so I could line up properly with the platform, yeah.
Because otherwise you'd probably fall and not hit it. And but yeah, they also had these little potions, like you could put those mushrooms in there, boil them up, and you can make extra. Like the downside is maybe the game's too easy, really, because you can constantly get health.
Yeah, I had tons of health. Did you use the compass?
Yeah, I did use the compass.
And it led you to a secret?
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so I'm trying to think of the other parts of this level. But I mean, it was just fun. And then also when that one wheelbarrow wheel was like flying around the level.
Yeah, I think they were gears.
Yeah.
And that cathedral thing.
Yeah, those gears.
Yeah, that was weird. Was it like possessed by a ghost or something?
It was Adaroth, man. Adaroth just playing with your ass, bro. Yeah. Adaroth. I like that name too, Adaroth. Yeah. You're in the beautiful world of Anaria, and you get to eat some sourdough bread in Anaria. You get to chop people's heads off and their limbs. It is kind of cool though when it goes into the slow-mo. You know, slow-mo. Oh, there's where the secret is right down there.
Yeah. Every time I did the slow-mo, I was trying to get tons of hits on the head and keep it in the air.
Yeah, the ice sword. I liked the guy that did the voiceovers, you know, the guy that would say, "You've collected every rune in this area."
Oh, yeah.
You know, and the guy that would read the stories in the book. Like, the stories were pretty good. See, that's another thing where, dude, no one has an excuse now. Because look at this game, Shadow Legend VR by VitruviusVR, developed by basically 2 dudes. And then you've got freaking Primordian, developed by basically 1 dude. And so no one has an excuse because these are 2 of the better VR games out there. Shadow Legend VR, like, you know, one of the things I'll ask you real quick as we're just enjoying this pretty cool level, which was an enjoyable level to play, is the games that have come out this year in 2019. Like, I was trying to think, what are the best games that have released so far this year? And some of the contenders, you've got Tabletop Gods in January. You got A Fisherman's Tale in January. You've got this game, of course, on March 7th. You've got Audica, which came out on March 14th. And then after that, I'm kind of struggling. I know there's like Eden Tomorrow on PlayStation VR, but I don't know that it belongs in this category. I never
even played Tabletop Gods.
It's pretty good. Tabletop Gods is not bad by any stretch of the imagination.
I'm looking through my recently played Steam games, and none of them are, except for Shadow Legend, none of them are new.
Yeah, I'm actually going to VR Game Rankings right now and looking at the last 90-day charts for Oculus Rift. 20 best Rift games in the last 90 days, just to like remind myself what's come out.
I played Angry Birds.
Oh, you know, yeah, Angry Birds. Angry Birds is in 2019. Okay, here's games from 2019. Audica, Shadow Legend, Fisherman's Tale, Tabletop Gods, Angry Birds, Dick Wild, Time Transit VR, Spuds Unearthed, Beat Blaster. I was about to say Singularity 5, but no, that's December. Hollow Point Chronicle. So, you know, I mean, I think it's safe to say Shadow Legend VR is one of like the 4 best games that have come out this year.
You probably like Audica more.
Well, Audica's right there. Audica's right there. A Fisherman Tale is right there, and I think Tabletop Gods is right there too. And then maybe I'd say Angry Birds, but you know, if we're talking top 4, Shadow Legend VR is absolutely top 4 in my opinion. Very solid.
I still haven't played Audica. I need to.
I like Audica, man. I like it a lot better than Beat Saber, actually. Okay, so let's see. We'll go to the next little area that we're in this game. So after the Emerald Forest level, you get into this dungeon level right here, and it's a small, compact level. And God, does this guy run through this thing super quick! But, you know, I took my time, and I found every little chalice. I found every little gold thing. You know, I raised those iron gates and stuck the thing in it and locked it in place, and the ice picks and all that. What did you think about this little level right here?
Oh, I like that level a lot. So it's the one with all the steel gates, and I actually liked it, and that's the level where I got the big jump scare.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. That tongue.
I was shocked, and I actually was down here in my basement. Like, if you were upstairs, you would have heard me. Like, I just was not prepared for that at all.
Hey, that moment is on one of my Let's Plays, and it straight up happened live. Yeah, I mean, it was completely natural. I screamed. I really did.
Yeah, because you wouldn't expect that in a million years.
Because every time you open the chest, you got good stuff. That's the only time you ever got screwed, so they really got you good because you weren't expecting it at all.
Yeah, and I really panicked and didn't know what to do, and the thing killed me. I wasn't even thinking like to attack it. I was just like running away from it, and it came at me. Yeah, everything in there was cool. And the bat, there were bats flying. One of the bats had a rune.
Yeah,
and there was lots of climbing on the
chandeliers.
And the
bats, dude, the bats were annoying if you didn't kill them because they kept chirping over and over and over again every time they flew through. It's now one of the criticisms I can kind of make towards Shadow, like if I wanted to try to like be as harsh as possible as I could on this game, one of the things I would say is I would say, well, you know what? One of the problems, and there it is right there. There's where the tongue. You're going to be like 8 seconds behind me right here, but it's the scene with the tongue. Yeah, that scared the crap out of me. But one of the things that people can say about it is they basically just have these rooms, right? They have these rooms that are of a certain size, and they're putting different things in it. And some of the rooms, they make it look outdoors because they give it an open top, but it's all kind of the same thing, and they're just kind of mixing stuff around and giving you things to do, but you're basically in these rooms. Like, what would you say to that?
About the rooms being basically the same thing?
Yeah, just all the different areas. It's just like a square area, you know, with stuff to do, and you go from one square area to another, but they make it look nice and different, and they give it a different flavor. But like when they're building this game, they're just building these same square areas kind of over and over again, and they're just filling it with whatever they want to fill into it.
Are you saying you just wish it had more variety in kind of the architecture?
Yeah, just kind of maybe like also if it just kind of meandered off, like I don't know, because it's like each time you get into one of these big rooms. Now this is a smaller dungeon, and so it's taking up a smaller area, I think. But like all the major rooms that you get into, there are some bigger outdoor areas that do seem a little bit bigger. But a lot of them, I mean, it is kind of this, like, it's like a square plot, like even the outdoor areas. Like the first snow area that you're in, it's basically a squared off plot. And then that outdoor area that I like, the Emerald Forest with all the platforms that are moving everywhere, that's a squared off area. It's a pretty big squared off area, but it's a squared off area. And then even when we get to the Enchanted Castle, which is you know, coming up here.
Yeah, I wonder why they did that. Because a game like Carnage Chronicles, it as you said, meanders sort of everywhere and does all sorts of twists and turns.
I think it's probably a situation where it's just easy for them to do that. They're building, you know, they're building these individual, like even this boss battle. Okay, so this is the first boss battle where I don't know if this boss had like a specific name or something, but you know, you start fighting this guy and then you realize that he has like a protection, and you have these like 8 cylinders that surround him, and you have to wreck him to ruin his protection, and you kind of go through the whole battle here. What did you think about this battle? Did you think it was like pretty decent or mediocre? Or?
I think it was much better than another battle we're gonna get to later.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
Yeah, like I wasn't sure. I was like, out of nowhere you're fighting this guy, and I'm like, is this the last boss? I don't even know like why I'm fighting this guy. But I like the
Santa Claus.
What did he say?
The Santa Claus guy did say that you're gonna have to like battle a thing at the end of this. Like he was telling you before when you were in that little dungeon area. But the thing about it, man, is I was shooting so many arrows at this guy's head and chest before I ever realized that I had to hit his wings, you know?
Yeah, doesn't the angel or something tell you?
Yeah, she does. Wings? She does. But at first I'm firing.
I had no clue either.
But you end up getting, you take out both of this guy's wings, he falls down, but he's still like coming at you and smashing the ground, and then you got to take out these purple things and take his arm. It's a decent little battle, you know, nothing to write home about, but you know, it's a decent battle. But again, it's in a square area. This is the kind of square thing that I'm talking about here.
Yeah, you're right. I actually never thought about that.
Which, I mean, I still love this game, and like, I'm not going to hold that against them. It's like, it was probably just the way they designed the game, and it just made it easier for them to design the game, I think. But, anyway. Okay, I'll go to the next. Now, this next level, this next little stage here, I call it Winter Wonderland, and this was one of my this was one of just the graphics, like these graphics like here, like when she's first talking to you, she's talking to you and it's all dark and you don't see the Winter Wonderland, and then she like raises her hands up and then bam, it is straight up Walt Disney Castle, and there's a beautiful blizzard coming down, and the overcast sky is just perfectly overcast, and you got these weird eyeball things that are flying all around. Did you think, like, when you first saw this, were you like, damn, look at these graphics, or did you just think it was just pretty decent?
The problem was I already saw it before. That was the problem. Like, it's either like a screenshot of it or maybe in a trailer, so it wasn't a surprise at all.
But still, seeing it in the headset, though, seeing it up in person?
Yeah, it looked really nice. But there were other levels that I thought, for me, looked better.
Maybe because it's so bright. I think the brightness is an extra bonus.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Here's what I didn't like about this level, is that you take all your weapons away, and you just have that sword.
Well, they give you a super powerful sword.
Yeah, but like I feel like, what was the point of me collecting all this treasure in these rooms if you're just gonna take my weapons away and now I have this sword?
What did you think of the crazed psycho enemy guys that come running at you in this, or actually they come flying out of the sky?
It was really weird, and they're way too easy. You hit them once or twice and they're dead.
Yeah, but what did you think of the character models? Like, I thought they were kind of smooth and interesting looking. Like, I was like, you know, these enemies, they're kind of, it's weird because the enemies in Shadow Legend VR, on one hand, I can say all the enemies look kind of goofy and silly. Like, they don't really look like scary, menacing creatures. But then on the other hand, there are certain aspects of them that I find impressive, especially these guys. I don't know, something, I mean, it's very plasticky, but there's something about the plasticky that I like of those weird guys that come running at you. Now, these eyeballs... Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. For me, these enemies are the goofiest and the silliest. The plasticky guys flying from the sky.
They're the goofiest, but they look pretty
in
good.
The game.
You don't think they look good, though? Graphically?
I don't know. I'd have to
or they're just so goofy you couldn't even enjoy them the first time.
They're goofy, and I think they sound goofy too.
Yeah.
And they're really easy to kill.
Yeah, you know, I mean, if there was another criticism I would label on this game is maybe a little more enemy variety. You know, if they had a few more different enemy types. Because it was kind of, I mean, I'm not sure, I don't know how many grand total enemies were. There were the guys that would throw the, there was a standard soldier guy, you know, the guys that would throw the bombs. I mean, there's a few different enemies. The eyeball thing, I didn't know what I was doing, dude. For the longest time, I was using my bow and arrow, and I was shooting these eyeballs, and I thought I was killing them, and I hadn't even walked over to where this area was. And I basically wasted like 25 minutes trying to kill these eyeballs before I... See, that's why my Let's Play, like, when I played this game, I spent a solid 6 hours in this game, but part of it was... I wasn't solving every puzzle immediately necessarily, and then also I was exploring every nook and cranny.
Yeah, and I didn't understand why every time I killed one of these eyeballs, the eyeball came to the crossbow. Like, even if you killed the eyeball all the way on the other end, the eyeball came to the crossbow.
Yeah, there's a, well, there's like a note that you pick up that says if you shoot, like, see, that's the other thing too, is I found this and then I started shooting him, but I didn't find the note until later, and then I was like, oh, you've got to kill 5 of these guys in a row.
Yeah. And then that's how you get one of the runes. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's how you get it. It's the only way to get into Adaroth's castle, right? Because you got to get, you have to get the things for that octopus Medusa thing, you know, that is under the water. And it's kind of cool how you have to go down there under the water. You go down there and do that.
But you don't have to use the crossbow to get those eyeballs. You can use your bow and arrow.
What? Really?
Yeah, you don't need to use the crossbow.
You don't have to use this contraption right here.
No, not to get the key.
But yeah, because the black things, those black things that would come to where this thing was, you had to take those underwater and put them inside that thing, which would then open up the key, right? See that black thing right there that he just grabbed? Well, it's going to be in about 7 seconds.
You're talking about the dark eyeball?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can kill them with your bow and arrow, and then they still, even if you kill them with your bow and arrow, they go over to the crossbow, the little eye. So you can collect them that way.
Well, then I probably had like seven black ones over there, and I just didn't even realize it because I killed a million of those guys.
Yeah, they all would come back to the crossbow no matter where you killed them from, even if you killed them with a bow and arrow.
Yeah, it's kind of cool how... It was kind of cool how you could use your torch with the hearts, you know, to like light some stuff on fire, to like melt some of the ice, to get into some of the...
And then in the crypt, you could use it to burn some stuff.
So you kind of min-maxed it a little bit and like went really heavy on trying to make your bow as strong as possible. That's kind of what I did too.
Yeah, I did that for sure.
Yeah, I didn't hardly spend any hearts on my regular sword, but I would also raise my health really high, and I got that up to like 150 or something like that. But yeah, so this was the Winter Wonderland, and then we can go ahead and I'll throw on the little Adaroth battle, which was, you know, I think this battle got way easier because I just played this battle today, this Adaroth battle, and I was expecting it to be incredibly difficult, and I got through it and I was like, oh man, that seemed easy. What was Mamefan talking about? But I heard they updated it and made it a lot easier.
So did you confirm that they updated like this actual battle?
Yeah, they changed some actual part of this battle to make it easier to block or something, or I don't know.
I wish you had to play what I played. Oh my god, I had to play this over again. I don't know, maybe 50 times.
See, you could kind of cheat. I don't know if you knew this, but you know where your hand is holding the sword?
Yeah.
Like if you turned your whole hand sideways and the sword sideways, like your hand would also be part of the block. So like you would have a really long, like 2x4 practically that you could use to block all these projectiles. And so it was simply, I almost felt like I was playing Beat Saber when I was doing this part, because it's basically just about moving. It's like moving your sword into the right pathway to just deflect these shots. That's all you're doing this entire time.
I was doing that. The problem before was you would be holding the sword like perfectly in front of the ball, but the ball would go right through.
Oh,
like,
okay.
That was what was happening, and frustrating a lot of people.
Yeah, they said.
Yeah, if you screw up once, you just have to redo the whole sequence. You know.
Oh, that would be nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah, they said that's what they fixed.
Okay.
The going right through the sword or whatever. So they fixed that. So yeah, I was so late to the party that I got the fixed version. So it wasn't very easy for me. So yeah, that was Adaroth, and you know, he was kind of goofy too in certain ways, like his voice, like, you know, just yeah, the most cliche bad guy ever. I still kind of liked him though, and I do like the name Adaroth when it comes to bad guys.
I was hoping to get a rant from you over this battle, but I'm pissed that they fixed it.
Yeah, they fixed it, so I wasn't even tripping. So now this last scene here, okay, what I'm putting on the screen now, it'll get to you in a sec, is this is kind of the Chewbacca ceremony after Star Wars is over, you know? You're out in front of the castle, your wizard guy is there, Cedric, the guy that taught you how to shoot your arrows, is there, and your other guy is there, I forget what his name was. And then a couple miscellaneous soldiers are there too. And I was wondering, am I going to see the deer now? You know, because there were deer in the trailer, brah. And guess what? There's no deer. I found out that they scrapped it, like, or it's not in any of the scenes that you get to play or something.
Huh, I don't even remember that. The deer in the trailer, huh?
Yeah, if you look at the trailer, there's a couple of deer that are walking around. And the cool thing about this, though, is, see, the thing is, remember the snow level that you were in the very, very early part of this game? Like when you first got outside and you're in the snow and the soldiers are battling and your dog is there and Cedric and all of that. Okay. So you were in that area, and I was thinking to myself, the whole time I'm playing this game, I'm thinking, wait a minute, I've seen this trailer a million times, and I know there's a level that looks kind of like that, but it's all green and lush. It's like springtime or summertime, right? And I've never seen that level, and here I am battling Adaroth and all this, you know, on my way to Adaroth. And I'm like, I'm wondering when that spring... See, I thought it was going to go back to sunny, cheerful, we're back in this world, and then go back to the scary world. But what happened in this game is once you got into the nightmare scenario of, like, the apocalypse scenario that was going on, you never got back into the happy world until the game was completely over, this part right here.
Yeah. Did you go fishing? I'm watching fishing on the screen right now.
Absolutely, I did, but you know what? I took a fish when I was done. I took a fish and just threw it on the fire, and then later I found a skillet, and I thought, okay, you got to sizzle it up the proper way. I did not do anything with those seeds, though. I forgot to do that.
I tried that, and I couldn't get anything to happen.
I did take the cheese and tried to put it in the... Oh, that's what you do with the pot. Okay, I'm watching the video now, and you got to take the pot and put it into the well to get water in it.
In the well? Oh, I went to the little stream and filled it.
Yeah, see, that's humans, man. We just do random shit. Like, nobody thinks alike. That's what these developers, like, when they're making games, especially VR developers, because making a VR game and getting people to play the VR game the same way every time is virtually impossible. You can make a Mario game, and most people will do very similar things in a Mario game. But in a VR game, you could look anywhere, you could walk anywhere, you get distracted by this, you go off the beaten path, they're teaching you something at the same time, like they're doing a tutorial, but you're not paying attention. How many times has that ever happened to you, man, where you like went walking off and like you missed the key tutorial and then you never could get back to it?
Yeah, that's happened tons of times. I have a question about when you beat Adaroth. It seemed like they gave you a choice. Like, they're like, the angel is there, and it's like, you know, let me free or something. She wanted you to help her.
Now, I chopped her head off. No, I'm just
That's what I did.
Did you? No, I didn't.
I didn't. I don't think I meant to. I just kind of accidentally cut her head off, but I don't know what the other option was.
Okay, Jay Pace. So actually, maybe we should actually look at what people are saying in chat. What a clever idea. Let's go over here and take a look.
This doesn't work with the skillet.
I thought it worked just fine with the skillet because it sizzled up. Because I'll tell you what, if you take the fish and you just throw it onto a pile of fire, because I did that. That's the first thing I did. I caught a fish. I threw it onto a pile of fire. It got really black, but when I tried to eat it, nothing happened. So then I caught another fish. And I says, oh, this was the part here. It shows the lead designers, and it has Colton and Blake. Okay, and those are the two guys. Like, I've talked to Blake a lot, and it's Colton and Blake are the two guys that made this game. And actually today, I mean, I was finishing this today, and I saw that today where it says the two designers, and I'm like, wait, they're only showing two of the people that worked on this. I thought that's kind of weird. What about all the other people that worked on it? And then later on today, I was doing some work on something else, and I was reading this article where VitruviusVR is basically two people. And I was like, what? Are you kidding me? Two people made this. How amazing is that?
It's probably Vitruvius.
Vitruvius, yeah.
Yeah, probably.
What did I say? Vitruvius.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? I probably say Vitruvius a lot, but yeah, Vitruvius. Yeah, it probably is. I murder everything, man. I butcher every word.
Not everything, just sometimes.
Almost, most of the time. But yeah, so this is, I kind of like though that they had this little like celebration area. You know, it was like, okay, you've conquered the planet. You are the great master. I mean, you are simply the great master. You've done it. You're the man, and now you get to enjoy some nice fishing, some rest and relaxation.
I want to know if anybody else did anything different with the angel, like other than cutting her head off. Like Jay Pace beat it, so I don't know what he did.
Okay. Yeah. So he's talking about ping pong with Satan. Like when you're battling Ataroth, it was basically ping pong with Satan. Yeah. My question is, Jay Pace, if you're still in chat, how long did it take you to finish this game? And for anybody else that may have played this game, oh my God, Hussein X was in chat, dude, and it was 3:30 a.m. This fool's preparing for bed. You got to be crazy. No way. This ain't freaking like the unveiling of the Nintendo 64 where I'm staying up until 4 in the morning Japan time or some shit.
Did you do that?
No, but you know what I did do for the Nintendo 64 though? Okay, so here in Sacramento, we had a store. Now, at the time, the store was called The Incredible Universe or something like that. And it was this huge, gigantic electronic store. It was like the ultimate Best Buy, just huge, right? And there's like 5 of them in existence. And this was like 1995. Yeah, this was like December of 1995 or something. And I knew that there was this thing called the Shoshinkai Show in Japan, and they were going to show the first pictures of like Mario 64 and all these Nintendo 64 games. But at that time, it was called Ultra 64. And I didn't have internet access back then. Okay, I didn't have a computer, but I drove to this place called Incredible Universe because I knew they had a bunch of computers that were all connected to the internet. And I looked at pictures on this website. I think it was an IGN website because it was like Next Generation Magazine was the video game magazine I had. And I think that was IGN. And I went to their website and they had the pictures from the Shoshinkai Show in Japan of the Ultra 64 and Super Mario 64. It was so funny. But
did you ever play Killer Instinct in the arcade? And it would be like, coming next year on Ultra 64.
I saw it in the like I made a point to go to an arcade to see it and look at it. I wasn't fighting. And the same thing with Cruisin' USA. But those games were nothing like what happened on the Ultra 64. I mean Nintendo 64. Yeah. Okay, so anyway, we're done with Shadow Legend. One little bonus coverage real quick here. Let's go to the Webby browser. Okay,
JP let the angel go. I guess you just don't cut her head off.
Okay, so we're going to the Webby browser. This is a special treat only for you guys that are tuning into this show live. And so, I mean, you must have seen this story right here. It's David Haney, Oculus Rift S, PC VR headset, set for GDC 2019 reveal. And here's what they're talking about right here. An email sent to some Oculus developers by Facebook suggests Rift S will formally be revealed at GDC 2019. Upload VR confirmed with multiple developers. The email mentions Rift S alongside Oculus Go and Oculus Quest. This suggests we should expect a formal announcement in the near future of the PC-based VR headset succeeding Oculus Rift. So did you see this? It's like, I mean, this is news, right? It's got to be news.
I'm not good at following news on the weekend. So now I haven't seen this yet.
Oh my God. Yeah, this is huge because basically what they're saying though is straight up an email was sent to some Oculus developers by Facebook. So that's by Facebook. That's from the horse's mouth. So I guess basically here's the bottom line. It's pretty much confirmation. We are the weekend right before GDC on Monday. A lot of these different companies are being invited to a special Oculus event. It's invitation only. Yours truly, unfortunately, not invited. I will be there Wednesday when they open it up for the rest of us yokels. But they've basically embargoed what's going to happen on Monday until Wednesday. So Mamefan, I think on Wednesday you're going to hear about Rift S. What do you think? From you? No, from freaking Oculus. No, I'm going to be at GDC. I'm going to be busy.
Yeah. Well, they have to because there are none in stock. Like I went to Amazon today. They have none in stock. You can only buy them from people for like 500 something or 600 something bucks. That's what people are selling them for. So this had to be coming. I won't be interested unless it's high res or more field of view, which I doubt.
What do you think is what do you think the resolution will be? Do you think it'll be up to Samsung Odyssey HTC Vive Pro?
It would have to be, I think. It would have to be that at least.
Do you think it could go beyond that?
I think it could.
It seems beyond that, though. 2160 by 2160 seems to kind of be the standard, according to like all the rumors and stuff. And I don't know that it would jump that far, because if it was, I'll tell you what, if this puppy had 2160 by 2160, I would be there in a minute. Phil Yarn is saying the Quest is some straight trash. You got to be crazy, Phil Yarn. You got to be crazy and not like a fox. You got to be crazy, Phil Yarn.
He used to say that about Magic Leap too. But, you know, he was more right about Magic Leap, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. But what do you think? I mean, is it going to be a side grade? What do you think the price is going to... Okay, actually, let me just give you a couple of questions. Number one, do you think it's going to be one of these situations like on Wednesday, the Rift S is announced and it's like available now? Go to Amazon. Or do you think you're going to have to wait like a month?
Damn.
See, I think it's just going to be out. It's just going to be bam out, because they got Quest coming up. They ain't got time to wait. It's just going to be boom. Because I've always said when it comes to the Rift S, it's the follow-up, you know? It's the PS4 Slim is what it is.
Yeah. More than likely, yeah, I'd say it's out immediately because they don't have stock for the Rift. So, I mean, they have to.
Do you think it'll be $299 or do you think it'll be $399, $349?
Yeah, they might keep the same price with better specs. They might. I don't think it'll be cheaper.
So you have, what are the headsets you got? You got a regular Vive and an Oculus Rift and what else?
And a PSVR and a Gear VR.
Okay.
Why? I have a Pimax 5K Plus that could show up any day, but who the hell knows? And who knows if it'll even work?
Why did you? What was I gonna say? Why did you never get like the HTC Vive Pro?
I just couldn't justify the $700. I thought about it.
But you could sell your existing Vive. Or was it the Harley Quinn design?
Oh, here was the big issue. It wasn't the looks of it. The big issue was all these people were saying they're having issues with the sound. And I'm not going to go backward in any way. This thing better be better than everything I have. And if the sound is worse, fuck you. I'm not paying $700 for it.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I say.
What about Samsung? Did you ever get one of those?
Yeah, I got the Odyssey Plus, and I didn't like it.
All right.
Like, there was almost nothing I liked about it. I
Did
mean,
you
yeah,
try?
it had less screen door, but everything else about it totally just ruined it for me. So what were you gonna say?
Did you try any of the other Windows mixed reality headsets, like the Lenovo or the Acer or any of that? No.
No, never tried any others.
Yeah, you see them for like 150, 170, 190, you know, $200 for them sometimes. And it's almost like, why not just buy one just for the F of it? But they just seem so cheap and flimsy to me, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, what else was I going to ask you though? But, well, so for you, do you think there's any chance like this headset, this Rift S, it could be better than the headsets you have right now? Couldn't it?
Yeah, it could be.
So you don't see yourself running out and grabbing one of these just on a whim if like next week next Wednesday you could drive to Best Buy and grab one. You're not going to do that?
If it, like you said, if it's 2160 by 2160, yeah, I'll get it.
Hell yeah, everybody would probably,
yeah.
Right?
But if it's just like Vive Pro resolution, nah. I don't know.
Yeah,
because it won't be wireless.
Yeah, well, it's a tethered headset, but you know, it's got the new inside out tracking, so which could be, I mean, I don't know what is that going to look like? You know, you got to have some lights on and stuff for that. Have you ever tried playing in like total darkness, or what kind of lighting situation do you usually have going when you are playing?
I usually have all the lights off.
Do you have any like little small light that you could see somewhere, or is it really dark?
It's really dark. I mean, you can barely see some light. That's
you're like Mr. Immersion, Project Immersion. One of my questions is, what about soundproofing? Because I've thought of this. Like, it would be cool to have a soundproof room, because there's a lot of times I'll be in VR and I'll hear like some loud ass delivery truck outside, or a dog barking, or somebody yelling or something, or a phone ringing, and there's nothing that kills immersion like a damn phone ringing. I don't know why we still have a house phone in this house that rings like a loud house phone. But I've always thought of just how cool would it be where if you could control all outside light and all outside sound. If you can control all outside light and all outside sound, those are two very big parts of the equation to keep that out, so that none of that disturbs you.
There's no sound down here because I'm in a basement that's underground, and so I don't hear anything.
Wow.
And
so you've never heard a barking dog or a cat? I mean, not a cat.
Never.
A barking dog, or like a loud car or something, or
no,
nothing?
I can't hear anything down here.
Oh, upstairs, that must be awesome.
Yeah, upstairs you can, but nothing down here. And basement windows are small, and I have blinds on them, so there's nothing coming in here.
Do you ever worry about like what if you got what if somebody was breaking in or something, and you're in the middle of a VR thing way down in your basement? I mean, it's so unlikely, but you know, do you have a dog or anything?
We just have a cat.
Oh, okay. See, my dog's kind of like my alarm policy.
Yeah. Yeah, we have an alarm system, but we never turn it on.
Alrighty, well, you know what? Yeah, so that was pretty fun. So yeah, guys, that was just kind of an out of the blue little episode that we're doing here, and it was basically Shadow Legend VR Spoiler Cast, special guest Mamefan in the building, and a little VR365 live special. So just to wrap up, I'm planning on being on VR Roundtable tomorrow morning, and that's going to be interesting for a couple of reasons. Number one, Gary has had a Pimax 5K Plus, I think, for like 4 or 5 days. So he's going to be talking about all of his experiences with the Pimax 5K Plus. And then we're obviously going to talk about the fact that Rift S is here, baby. Rift S is in the building this Wednesday. We are going to find out about Rift S, and I'm going to be there at GDC this Wednesday. Definitely follow me on Twitter, guys, because I will be tweeting like every time I'm in some type of VR experience. If I'm allowed to say anything about it, I'll tweet about it right after. Like if I'm playing like Stormland and I just come out of it and I'm like, oh my God, I played Stormland, Insomniac. I played it. I was flying up the sides of mountains and stuff. I'll be tweeting right afterwards. So definitely follow me on Twitter if you've never. I normally don't tweet all that much. But GDC, I'll be tweeting like crazy.
What about doing those YouTube things that people do, that non-video things? Can you do that?
Non-video things?
Yeah. People on YouTube post stuff that's like non-video. It's like updates and stuff, and like they can post pictures and all sorts of stuff. Yeah, once you have 1,000 subscribers, I think you can do that.
Yeah, I haven't looked into that. What I could do, see, I've never put Discord on my phone, and I kind of like don't want to put it on my phone, but I could put that on my phone and be taking pictures of stuff and throwing it up in Discord real quick and stuff like that.
Yeah, my phone is how I do Discord.
Yeah, see, I'm scared of it because I think I'll just always be checking Discord constantly, and I like the fact that it's not on my phone right now. But anyway, guys, yeah, so I will be heading over to GDC and all of that, but I will be on VR Roundtable tomorrow, and again, the next regular episode of this show, I know it's a long time away, Thursday. There could be other stuff that could pop up. I mean, anything could possibly pop up. I might... Like, I'm planning on taking this little camera with me to GDC, and I want to kind of do, in the evening, kind of a little follow-up wrap-up of my first day there, all Tuesday, and then also do the same thing Wednesday. But I don't know if I'll be uploading them right away or if I'll want to edit it slightly or what, so I don't know what'll happen with that.
Okay.
But anyway, thanks for joining, Mamefan. Really appreciate it. I know you like Shadow Legend VR, and we should probably do this a lot more. The problem is I actually have to finish games, and it's a real problem. I need to have these.
You finished this game way better than I did.
Yeah. Well, I got lucky. Yeah. They fixed it. But yeah, we have to do this more because I think it's fun to like just kind of dig into a game.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right, well, we'll see you guys next time. Have a good one. Let me go ahead and get my little outro logo on the screen. I should probably have like an official outro and all of that. I thought I would have that a long time ago by now, but really haven't had that. Okay, so anyway, that's going to go ahead and do it for our episode today, and we'll see you guys on Thursday or possibly some other stuff that could pop out of the blue. So we'll see you then. Have a good one. Take it easy. Later.